Hey everybody, it's Elizabeth and welcome back to our yard, our gardens here in Northeast Arkansas. So first off, I want to say sorry. There's been no videos really for the most part of the last week. If you missed the shorts or reels that I uploaded or the posts that I did, my son was in the hospital last week. The previous Monday, we had a regular, an outpatient surgery scheduled to fix the deviated septum in his nose. And then post-op, he was having a lot of trouble breathing because of his asthma and sleep apnea. So the doctor was afraid because of the anesthesia that he might stop breathing in his sleep if they let him come home. So we were in the hospital and then they ended up wanting to watch him. So we were actually there for 5 days. But anyways, we're home now. Everything is good. But because of that, obviously I got behind on my video upload schedule because typically I'm only maybe 4 or 5 days ahead. And I was not very far ahead when we got put into the hospital. So anyway, so I'm filming this today on Friday. You'll see it on Saturday. So I'm going to start getting caught back up. And then obviously next Wednesday we'll have an office update video. That last video is still not done. I've got some finishing touches, so that's why you didn't see that this week. So anyways, also I came out this morning because I got the seeds I had ordered online. These are shade flower, wildflower perennial collection. I think it's perennials. Actually, I think it's both. I think it's partially annuals, partially perennials, but it's from Mountain Valley Seed Company on Amazon. It says Shaded Woodland Flower Seed Collection. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to put this in one of the metal raised beds that I've talked about recently that doesn't get a lot of sunlight. I'm not putting it in both because I can still grow in one of those in spring and fall when the oak tree is not leafed out. It's not too shaded. It's just too shaded in the summertime. I'll show you what I worked on that too. I've had 2 mornings this week where I've gone out, I've worked in the garden, I've weeded different things, and I've improved some things. Still, obviously, always so much more to do. But I'll show you that when we get over there. But anyways, I just wanted to say too, I just came out. Whenever I woke up, it said light showers. And I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Y'all, this is the first rain we've had in 10 days. So lovely. I can hear that it's still raining, or else it's rain falling out of the tree. That's probably what it is, because I can hear it hitting the roof over there. But what a nice little drenching rain. How fun. These are those 2 perennials I had just recently added. There's a kitty cat. So they're doing nicely. Just, you know, they're rebounding. Here's that rose that I had sprayed with the fungicide. You see it's put on new leaves. It still looks really scraggly, but I really think that fungicide helped. Because this one was also, ooh, I hear thunder. This one was also having some damage on it. It's rebounded nicely and has flowered a couple of times. So I am doing that fungicide weekly now, and I have been spraying all of the soil in this whole bed because this is where I have problems with it. So I think it'll take a while to get it fully fixed. Look at this guy. It's like taking over the little red flowers I had in there. I guess I really need to trim it back more in the top. And then, yeah, from the rain you can see things are kind of laying over. This is my purple fountain grass, and she's laid over like that. But anyways, we love the rain. Looks like we got a pretty good amount of rain, because look how the crepe myrtle is like hanging down like it's weighted. That's lovely. She smells lovely. So one thing is with all this, oh wow, we've got tomatoes falling over there. Wow. What I was going to say is, with all the heat that we've had and no rain, I have been manually hand watering, which, as you guys know, it takes a long time. But, I mean, it's definitely worth it. But the thing is I do forget sometimes. See, she is just too tall. So I'm probably going to, because she was up yesterday. She was standing up. And see how tall she is? I need to tie her to the trellis there, give her a little extra support. She's already tied in one place. This is again why I always say these trellises, literally, I don't know why they even make them this short. They're not, that's not good enough for any tomato. Not any at all. Okay, so let's do our updates. Thai basil, she is lovely. This tomato, I know she needs a lot more support. I've just got to buy another stake because I don't have any more. And then let's see, oh my gosh, lots going on in this bed. Oh, this fell over. So this is my jasmine, and I have found a new solution for her. Just haven't had a chance to do it yet. Oh, let's see, she's gonna fall over again. Okay, there we go. So the solution for her is this. I bought these trellises. My husband hung them up for me. So I'm going to plant her actually in the ground here. Obviously I'm going to clean this up, and I'm going to do all new mulch down here. So it's going to be lovely. Thankfully the AC just kicked off. Yeah, so that's where she's going to go. The pumpkin vines are glorious. It's crazy. I've not seen any baby pumpkins yet. I'm sure they'll come soon. The vines are just growing like crazy. But we do have a lot of action with the watermelon vines, which are right here. So you've got a baby watermelon right there. And we've got bigger ones here. More. There's another one. So that's fun. I was out here yesterday and I was trying to fix this vine. It is really going crazy. And you can see I would grab like 6 things at once and just wrap them around. Did the same thing over there. So it's just, it's growing like crazy. I don't really know what else to do with it. But anyways, and then I moved the watermelon vines to go this way. And then I'm letting the pumpkin vines kind of go elsewhere. But I was telling my husband the other day, so far I'm convinced this is the best way to grow vines in a raised bed where you have room for them to spread. Oh, I forgot there's another watermelon right there. Because this has been great. They can go wild in here, but then I can just keep an eye on the legs as they come out this way. So I love that. Over here, this is 2. This is 1 or 2. This is 1 pepper here, finally growing. Hey, little butt. Hey, little butt. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Oh, anyways, this pepper's finally growing. Lovely. And this tomato is putting on, obviously. These are the new cages I got this year that I showed you guys before. They're working nicely, but just as with the other ones, they're just not going to be tall enough. We know that, and that's okay. And you can see from this rain, they're all leaning this way. They weren't like that yesterday. They were all straight upright like this. So, I don't even know how much rain we got. I should have looked on the temperature thing before I came out. This bed is cool because this is our toothache plant. And I swear, while we were in the hospital, it just like boom came to life. Because look, she's trying to get little flowers. Now remember, this is the plant where the flower and the leaves and everything, if you chew on them, they're an analgesic. So they will numb your mouth, which is amazing. How cool is that? So I'll have to do some research and see if I need to harvest the leaves if I dry them, if they'll still have the same effect or if it's only when they're fresh. But anyway, she's doing great. I don't know what this is right here. I think it's a weed. This is a tomato I put in that I had left over. This is a mint I had sitting on the ground over there. And I only grow mint in containers because they're ferocious. I didn't even think about it. But I pulled her up yesterday Look at this. She was going for it. So I was like, no ma'am, sorry, must move you. So I just set her over here, but look, she's actually flowering. I don't know that I've ever had mint flower. Maybe because I always grow them in containers, and she was sitting on the ground, so she was putting her roots in and she was happier, but she's also like really sprawly, which is kind of weird. My chocolate mint was more bushy in the middle, and I say was because this is what my chocolate mint looks like right now. She died back from not getting enough water when we were in the hospital. My husband did come out and water things for me a few times, but it just wasn't enough for some containers because they dry out so fast. But he did do that, which was very lovely of him. Over here I had this new bag of birdseed, and we have raccoons. Raccoons have been scouring our place lately. Wait a second, I'm missing a plant. I'm missing a plant. There was a plant right there. What in the world? Did they come out again? Because I had peony, holly, and peony. So I'm missing a peony. Like, I hate these creatures. They make me so mad. Because it's like, what are they doing? They're just like carrying off my plants. Okay, so what they did, maybe it's this one and it just got moved, but I don't know. What are they doing with my plants? And what is this coming out of the ground? What is this? I don't know what that is. See, this says asparagus, so that's not mine. This was over here. This has got to be my peony. It's like they just pulled the new growth off of it. Yeah, this was here before the rain. But anyways, they got in the bird seed and they got it all over the place. And this is going to be such a mess. It's already growing stuff. This was just from a couple days ago. I'm going to have to clean all this up. But they had, they pulled out several of my pots and stuff and it was all thrown out here. So my husband set a live trap the next day and caught a possum. No raccoon, but a possum. So relocated that guy to the woods. Sounds like it's raining again. Yeah, so let's just go through this quickly. This all looks good. I hand weeded a lot through here. I have a hollyhock volunteering there. I love it. We're going to leave her. Oh my gosh, the rain. Fun. This area looks great. I'm going to move those soon. Oh wow, it's really starting to come down. I moved my onions and my garlic here. And then that borage that was in here that was struggling, I put him there. So hopefully he'll rebound. He looks like he's dying right now. You can see the weeds out there I was pulling. Hold on. Okay. Alright. Now I'm in the safety of the greenhouse. I'm not going to complain about this rain, you guys. Seriously, we have been under drought conditions. It's insane. But I did a lot of updates back here, so I can show you these from in the greenhouse. So that's fun. These little wildflowers are doing great. I went through and I pulled the weeds. I had a lot of weeds right here at this arch. Pulled all those. Had a lot in here too. And then there's two hostas in here that lived right over there that looked miserable. They were in the hollyhocks and they've been miserable for a long time. So I pulled them out, put them in there. That's why we're going to do the wildflower seeds. And I didn't do, so obviously I pulled the garlic from there. I pulled the onions. They were in this right corner. Pulled them out. There's still some weeds over there, but I pulled a lot of weeds in front of the hollyhocks. And then this elephant ear has struggled like all year. And it had one arm hanging on it right here. I cut off. And it's looked happy ever since. I'm sure it's loving this rain. Wow. Got my wildflower seeds sitting out over there. Maple, are you just going to hang out in the rain? Anyway, so in this bed right here, this flower you see here is the one that used to live right over there on the other side. I was pulling weeds and she just came up real easy and had a really small root system. Like I accidentally pulled her, obviously. And I was like, well, let's just move you because obviously you're not thriving there. Like this one is doing good there. The roll of petunias. Anyways, moved her there. The yarrow is getting bigger. And this was my, what was that? I had, it's the, I know I have a tag for that. It's not foxglove. It's a perennial that doesn't love a lot of sun. And I had it in that front bed by a tomato, and then the tomato just like grew so big you couldn't even see it. So I pulled it, and I actually had it in this bed for like a week. Maple is like rubbing on the corkscrew willow. She's so funny. Anyways, when I had it in this bed, it looked okay for the first day or two, and then it looked really sad. Like you can tell, you see I cut it all the way back. It's just got 3 little stems, a couple of leaves. So she looked real bad. So I moved her there, cut her back, because that soil is a lot moisture. Yeah. I guess I'm going to have to plant those seeds later and just take them back in the house with me because it's just raining too much. You can see it coming off the back of the house over there. It's raining too much for me to try to stand there and plant. So I'm going to try to get back through the garden, get to the front porch so I can show you some other stuff. It definitely sounds a lot more severe when you're in the greenhouse. It is a good little rain though. Woo! Oh my gosh, we made it. Woo! Made it, but got really wet. Oh, Maple's shaking off. Yeah, so we got pretty wet. Maple's stay right there. Stay. So I'm just going to show you this other side over here before I head in. So these lilies here, I need to pull these. You know, you can go through and just pull those off. I need to do that again. A lot of stuff in this bed out here is looking really nice. You can see, let me see if I can zoom in so you can see. Our evergreen, look at him. After he had the bagworms, look at him coming back. Oh, I'm so pleased. We gave him insecticide, fertilizer, everything we could. I've been making sure to water it. So one thing I was mentioning about the watering is these plants, a lot of them, especially if they're new this year, which I always have a lot of new plants every year, but when they're new, you want to water them every day during a heat wave. Our heat wave has been so severe, like it's been crazy. I don't know that we've ever experienced like heat like this. This rain feels like divine intervention, I'm not even gonna lie, because y'all, like it was up to like high 90s, which low 90s in Arkansas with so much humidity is normal for us, and it's really freaking hot. But we were like high 90s and high humidity with the real feel of like 110, 115 multiple days in the last 10 days. That is not normal. Not normal for us. My husband works in a shop. He's a mechanic. It's a huge 3-bay shop, but it's an old shop. And so it's got electricity and he's got big fans. That's it. He has no AC in there because most of the time that's fine. I mean, when I say big fans, I mean he's got a shop fan that's like 4 or 5 feet wide. Anyways, and that's usually sufficient. They have a gas heater for winter, but he has been like beat down every day from all of this heat, so it's been crazy. So anyways, so I would love, it would be optimal in my mind to water my plants every single day during a heat wave, and I just have not had the time, so I constantly feel guilty about it. And so what I've been doing since we got home from the hospital was watering everything probably every 2 days, I would say, would be much more honest and consistent. And when I would water things, almost everything would be fine and not look like it was just about to die, you know? So that always made me feel a lot better. I'm like, oh, they'd be happier if they just had more moisture. But anyways, so it's just been a struggle. And the current water hose situation I have over here, I don't think I can even show you. Well, I guess you can see it. It's black and it's hanging right there above the yellow flowers. Love those yellow flowers. Oh, and this rose right here is really going to town. Love that. Oh, so is that one. Not been on the deck much this week. So that hose I have, it's the second hose. The first hose starts on this side of the house and it runs along the back of the house and it comes under the deck. And then the second hose is a black one. It's hooked up to that. That's how I have water over here. We don't have a hose bib on this side of the house. So that second hose that goes behind the house and all that, it leaked this spring. We kept finding wet spots at the back of our house. And if you have ever noticed from videos with how we did our deck and how our pool is and everything, from the middle of our house to the back of our house, the land slopes down. So, there was water coming out of the back of the house. And obviously our washer and dryer, or laundry room is in the back of the house. So my husband's immediate thought was the washer's leaking somewhere. He got under the house and he was finding water, but he couldn't find any problems. So after like the third time of going under there and inspecting, he realized it was coming from under the deck and then kind of coming under the house and then coming out the back of the house. So then he gets under the deck as much as he can. You can't actually get under half of it because it's so low to the ground. And he found that that water hose was leaking. So he went in there and he replaced it. But when he did, like, he had to like basically cut that hose off, replaced it with a section. So my hose altogether that I have to water with over here became like 20 foot shorter than it was before. So now when I water, I mean in the spring, you guys saw how much rain we got. We got so much rain all spring. I did not have to start watering until like May. So maybe even early June. But when I started watering, I realized it's just too short. So I can get the hose out to this apple tree right here. And beyond that apple tree that you cannot see is a pomegranate and a fig tree. And then we have the log bed right out there. Oh, where am I pointing? Where is she? She's right there. I can't reach them. I can only get the hose to right here, just right about even with the gas tank. So I can shoot out and I can get the two trees over here. But I've had to hand water with my 2-gallon thing, the log bed and the fig this whole time. And so of course I worry about them. The last time I hand watered that, it had been maybe 2 days and those flowers were not flowering. They were brown, they were sad. It's been pitiful. I was going to say it looked like it calmed down, but it's really just like little thin sheets. Because if you look out there in the woods, you can see it's still coming down. And Lord, did Connor's car need washed off. Oh my gosh. It looked so awful. Because my husband, he mows this right here. So this across, we used to own this field and we sold it to my uncle. Because we would actually just give him the hay off of it all the time. He would cut it and keep the hay. We did nothing with this land other than look at it and love the view. And he asked if he could buy it, and it was beneficial for us to get the money from it, so we did. But so he owns all of this to this fence line over here. But we've literally never used it. The only thing we ever used it for was my boys would park right there. That's it. We put a gravel pad there. They'd park there. Anyways, we can still use it for whatever we want because none of this, you see how this grass right here is like crazy looking? This is like, I don't know if that's Johnson's grass or what it is. But this whole section is not good for hay right here. So he comes around and he cuts everything else. And so my husband will come through and he'll mow this because this is where we go out to our trash cans. And if we ever need to like park another vehicle where we don't want it on our yard or something, they park there. And so anyways, he mows that. He does the same thing for this little strip all the way to the end. And he had mowed that like twice while we were at the hospital. And it's so dry over there that Connor's car was coated in dust. It looked like that car had been sitting there for 6 months and nobody had touched it. But it was just because my husband mowed twice. Anyways, so there's the story on that. Yeah, what a nice, lovely, drizzling rain. I'm not mad at it at all. Man, we've been needing this so bad. Look at the zebra grass. So huge. So in next week's tour, I'll make sure to film it when I have a chance to walk around with you guys, show you everything. Especially the in-ground garden. I can even see that from here, from the porch. Let me see. Oh, I can kind of see it from afar. I'll step out in the rain for a minute. See? The biggest plants you see on the right are the squash. We've started getting yellow squash and zucchini squash. And then the 2 rows to the left of that are tomatoes in cages. They're finally growing. And then out there to the left are the cucumbers. We're finally getting cucumbers out of the garden, squash and zucchini. But the tomatoes are just behind. But a lot of them are doing good. So that's awesome. But anyways, yeah, next time I will walk around with you guys. I was trying to remember if I brought this seed back. I think, yeah, I don't want to leave it out here in case the cats try to play with it. Next time I'll try to show you guys the orchards and everything else. So anyways, glad I could get this filmed for you guys, and glad to be enjoying this rain today. Happy for my husband because he won't be sweating to death in the shop, because it says it's 83 right now with this rain, so that's nice. And it's thundering. Wish it would just, it's supposed to be scattered storms all day, so it's like, it would be nice to have like a little small thunderstorm, you know, no tornadoes, just a little thunder and lightning. That's fun. I always miss that. I love weather like that, as long as it's not tornadoes following, of course. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are. Stay safe, stay warm, keep growing, keep watering and stuff, keep it alive. Have an awesome day.